I just wanted to come on here and like talk a little bit about what's been going on recently, and just ponder on a few things, because I was thinking quite a lot yesterday about my life right now, I guess, and yeah, I just want to be honest about my life, I guess, because I feel like that's a good thing to do. So I'm in year 13 in the UK, and we just had our Leavers Day. So basically, last day of school, everyone's going off to university to do their own thing. And it was the last day that everyone was in school together before exams, basically, they're coming up. And on the day, there was like quite a lot of people crying, because it's a sad thing. But I found myself I didn't find myself very sad. I wasn't very sad. And there's always like some people crying, some people who aren't bothered. But yeah, I was just kind of like unfazed, just another day. But I think I realized that a bit after that I hold this kind of like weird pride in not feeling stuff sometimes and being stoic and just like, I don't really care. And that can be really helpful sometimes. But I think like letting myself be vulnerable is really important. And I do think it is something that's going to hit me a little bit later, and it started to hit me a little bit. But yeah, it is kind of sad because everyone's just going their own way, but it's also kind of cool that it's like a collective experience. Like every single person is going through the same change in their life, and some people are going to find that change harder than other people, but everyone's going through the same thing, and it's kind of beautiful in a way, I feel. But yeah, I've noticed that weird pride of just like feeling prideful about not feeling emotion, and I think that's something that I could get rid of, or try and not let like control me or whatever. Yeah, and I guess because it's such a big change, like it brings up issues of like, or I feel like it forces people to confront their fear of change, like in general. Because I feel like one of the hard tasks of life is you have to be able to deal with change, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people struggle with, because it's a very difficult thing, especially in like extreme circumstances. And yeah, there are times when you just have to, like, it's forced upon you, and this is like one of them. You're leaving all your friends, everything you know. And yeah, something I didn't really appreciate before was the shared space of like school. It's something I didn't really think about until the other day. How it's just a space of loads of young people your age, and you just get to see your friends every day and see people that you know every day and have the chance to interact with everyone. And I feel like losing that space, along with losing like everything else around school, but I feel like the space is really important, because that's what facilitates the interactions you have with people, and the feel of a community. And it's going to be weird moving into a different one of those. But yeah, I never really appreciated the space of school, and how much I feel like I'm gonna miss that. Um, Trying to think if I have had any other topic I want to talk about. I feel like there was something. Oh yeah. One of my favorite albums of all time it's called Masked Dancers by the Brave Little Abacus, and I've liked it for like years, and I've listened to it for years. And basically, the album was written. The main singer guy was like 16, I think, or 17 when he wrote the album, and he wrote it about leaving home. I think because he was going to college, like university. And something that has always baffled me about the album is, I always thought, how could someone write a whole album about leaving home, like just about leaving home? And it was always such a funny concept, because I was always like, oh, you just like, it's not that deep, you just leave home. But I feel like now I kind of get it a bit more, also because I think that leaving home is not just a thing that you do. It's not just like a physical move. It's a very mental move, and it's an emotional move. And I feel like it also represents something bigger than just walking away from your house. Like, I feel like it's a microcosm of being able to accept change, I think, and being able to, I guess, be reborn, because that's a big theme on the album, like death and rebirth, and like spiritual death and psychological death, and the death of like, I don't know, like friendships, relationships, and yeah, it's just funny because now I'm nearing being in that situation, and it was something that always baffled me, and I was like, I mean, first of all, I was impressed. It always baffled me how he could write an album so young, but how he could write a whole album about leaving home, I didn't really get. But I get it more now, and I don't think it's just about like leaving home. I think leaving home is such a good metaphor for I guess growing up, because it's kind of this border of like secondary school to university is like the biggest border of maturing and growing up, I think, that there is, or one of them at least. So yeah, I feel like listening to that album in a little bit of time, my perception of it's gonna change a little bit. But yeah, I just think it's kind of beautiful that everyone around me is going through the same thing. And I think it also puts into perspective some of my relationships. Like, I've realized, like yesterday I was thinking about some of my relationships I have with people very close to me, and I was realizing how important they are to me and how much I don't want to lose them. And I'm kind of appreciative, I don't know how you say that, of being forced to leave this place that I'm so used to, because otherwise how could I see how important what I've got is, and how could I know to try and foster those relationships and keep them close to me. I feel like I wouldn't know how important they are if this wasn't happening. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. I wonder how the change will feel inside me when I'm actually leaving. That's gonna be interesting. And yeah, I just want to focus on when I leave, trying to keep as many relationships that I can, because relationships are everything. I think they're super, super important. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. Thank you if you watched all the way. Yeah, have a good day.